there, slot car adventurers. Due to an overwhelming response to last week's Cars on Track episode, over 1,000 views in the first 48 hours, I've decided to do it again. So for the next 15 minutes, nothing but Cars on Track. And be sure to stick around afterwards, as I'll be taking a look at some of my new Scalextric cars. And then the moment you've all been waiting for, my epic Slot.it showdown. Stick around, enjoy. And now finally it's time to give these new Scalextric cars a run on the track. They've each been successfully fitted with a new Slot.it SP43 digital chip, and let's kick off the proceedings with the 1966 Batmobile. Now, just so you know you're not going crazy, the laps you're about to see were shot before I installed the Dunlop control tower and crosswalk. Nice. Next up is the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2. This one's my favourite out of the 3 versions that are available, but I wonder how it's going to perform on the track. I guess we're about to see, eh? Definitely looks very highly detailed, and I'm pleased to tell you that the quality of this particular car is extremely good. Now let's get it on the track and see how it performs.
What a little beauty!
It is indeed. Quite a surprise, really. Car handles superbly. Holds the road really well. Probably my favourite out of all the Scalies so far. But I've been warned about the Batman. This one, apparently, is fantastic. Looks brilliant, got a huge battering ram on the front. And look at that engine detail in the back. Oh, and those rear tyres. Oh, let's get this on the track and see how it goes. Oh, very solid. Yeah, darn well intimidating too. Very smooth, very slick, another great scaly car. Love it. So to recap, we've got the 1966 original Batmobile. Looks fantastic, love all the detail, and the nostalgia factor too. We've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2. As I said, there's 3 versions of this car. This is my favourite. And then we've got the latest, the Batman. Folks, this is my new all-time favourite slot car. It is awesome. All 3 of these performed flawlessly. They ran without any problems whatsoever. No issues with the Slot.it SP43 chips. I love it when things just work the way they're supposed to. And just look at that Batmobile. Now, you may recall last week I finally received this awesome Slot.it Mazda, a slot car that I've been searching for high and low for nearly 6 months. But now the search is over, it's here, and we're going to put a Slot.it SP43 digital chip in this car and get it on the track. Then I'm going to film an epic high-speed race featuring my 4 Slot.it cars. Stick around because this is going to be awesome. So there's typically only 2 screws you need to remove to pull the Slot.it cars apart, which is something I like a lot. The body is in perfect nick, which is what you'd expect with it being brand new. What about those tyres? They look a bit worn or used. That's weird, but what? Where are the clips to insert the chip? I mean the connectors. This has none. This is just a standard analog car. I don't understand. On the back of the box it quite clearly says it's System SSD Sport Digital compatible. But clearly there's no way of installing this. It doesn't have the connectors. You'd have to unsolder those wires and I don't want to do that. Hang on, there isn't even a hole in the chassis for the detector, the little eye that sees the sensors on the track. Let me crack open one of the others and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I did not see that coming. This has taken me completely by surprise. In fact, I'm getting one of those sinking feelings in my gut. Now let's get the top off and have a look inside. And there you go. There's the connectors. That's how they come as standard. And let me show you the little hole, well, rather the absence of one. Not talking about that big one there. I'm talking about this one here. It's off to one side. That's where the sensor eye sits. And this one does not have it. It has these wires soldered directly to the motor, straight to the braids, nothing in between. So clearly we're not going to get to run this car today. I'm lost for words. Having quickly checked the other chassis included in the package, it doesn't have that little sensor hole either. Nor are there any instructions or diagrams. Very annoying. And speaking of annoying, let me give you some full disclosure here about this car. Just like the yellow Porsche, I was extremely excited to get this Mazda Lola, but when it arrived, it was dead on arrival. And after much hair pulling and plenty of swear words, you won't believe what I found. This wire was completely detached, just like that. But I could understand these sorts of things happen occasionally. It was my attempts to try and put it back that was extremely frustrating, because there's no little screw, there's no clamp down device. You just got to try and bung it back into the hole and hope for the bloody best. I kid you not. So my plans to bring you an awesome Slot.it high-speed racing sequence are dashed. It's not going to happen. But at least we could do a few laps with these cars and let you see what sort of results I get. Let's start with this one. Now, as you can see, it doesn't perform too bad at all. The digital chip is installed successfully, everything lines up, but it just stops here and there as if there's something wrong with the track. Watch again. Here we go. Now, everyone's thinking, oh, there's something wrong with your track. There's got to be something wrong with the rails. There's something wrong with the track, for sure. Well, I beg to differ. I've tried everything with this car. When it runs well, it runs well. But then all of a sudden, for no particular reason, it gives me a raised middle finger. And no matter how much I try, I cannot get this car to do what it's supposed to bloody well do. It's incredibly fast. It absolutely flies when it works. Oh, and it tends to dislot way too easily. I wasn't even going at 1/3 of the speed then. And as you can hear from the tone of my voice, I'm kind of over this car already. Pausing again over in that corner, it definitely doesn't like it. Hates the lane changes. And it's dislotted again, and as you saw, it wasn't even going that fast. And yes, I've looked at this car, I've had it apart, I've done little adjustments. I'm just about to throw my hands in the air. And now, as you can see, all of a sudden, it's running quite well. For the time being. Let's try this one. I've inserted that wire back in the little braid guide thingy as best as I possibly could. Ah, we're off. But listen to it. That car is sick. And it's starting and stopping, it's fitting and farting. What the hell is wrong with it? Oh, now that one didn't stop on the corner. It's stopping everywhere else. And it definitely sounds like the pinion is out of alignment or something. There's some sort of internal struggle going on there. If I could only get it working properly, this would be a fantastic car. Even the weather outside doesn't like it. That's the wind gust blowing against the garage door. Yeah, Mother Nature's saying, get that piece of shit off the track right now. Not happy, Slot.it. Now, just to prove a point, let's try out my first Slot.it. The good one, the one that actually works. No problems with this Porsche, it's fantastic. See what I mean? What a difference. Smooth as, holds the road. Oh, but it's stopping on that corner. Now, isn't that interesting? Maybe there is something wrong with the track. Or maybe not. Let's try out one of the Carrera cars. Not even a pause. Nothing whatsoever on that corner, or anywhere else for that matter. No dead spots, performing exactly as it's supposed to. No problem. Nope, none whatsoever. The braids are okay on the Slot.it. Let's try it again. Let's see what happens this time. No issues on the inside lane, no problems whatsoever. Oh shit. Yeah, I've crashed into the solid wooden block holding up the bridge there. Probably should glue a few rubber tyres on there just to be safe. Still working. But is it going to stop here? Some kind of issue on that corner. Might have something to do with the 160-degree curves, but then again it's having no issues with the others. Ah, went through okay then. In that case, let's have a hot lap. Whoa. That is awesome. See what I mean? Let's see that again at half speed. Yep, as I said, this car is fantastic. How about once more at normal speed? Well, there you go, slot car adventurers. A brutally honest, raw, no tricks involved test run of these cars. It seems like I've got 1 out of 4 that's performing the way it's supposed to. This car is fantastic. It made me pretty much fall in love with the Slot.it brand, and I had to get more. I did say at one point I'd like to get a whole field of 8 of these and shoot an awesome racing video with Slot.it cars, but I tell you what, this one is... You saw the wire hanging out. This one is a real disappointment. Straight out of the box, dead on arrival. And you saw it on the track. It doesn't know whether it's Arthur or Martha. It just fits and farts. And this one, again, hit and miss. People told me, get one, it's fantastic. Well, yeah, it absolutely flies when it actually goes. I've fiddled with the braids. I've trimmed them. I've wired them. I've done everything possible. I've looked
I've spent hours looking for information on the internet. How do you do this? How do you do that? What's the best? Why is this not doing this? Watched hours of videos and learned everything about them, but the things that I'm having trouble with. But you sort of put the Carrera car on, not an issue, no dead spots, nothing. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe we need to replace the guides with the Slot Invasion USA guides made for these. Probably the thing to do. Yeah, and of course this one. Talk about being disappointed. It gets here and it's more or less useless to me. Now, it's obviously an analog-only car. It's set up for that. If I had an analog track, we'd be doing laps. But that still doesn't explain how on earth do you attach the spoiler. There's no instructions, no diagrams included. I've gone online, can't find anything. Again, I've watched about 3 hours worth of YouTube videos on this car, and again they told me everything that I didn't want to know. Nowhere could I find anything showing me how does this attach properly. So it's just like that, you know, it's just sitting in there. I can't make sense of the bits that come with it. They don't seem to fit in any way. So I'm thinking of resorting to super glue. Of course, I'm not going to do that, but like, what on earth? So I'm not just disappointed, I'm pissed off.
Oh, well, at least I wasn't pissed on.
There you go, slot car adventurers. I'm sorry it wasn't an awesome experience. I put this off for a number of weeks because I thought when we run these slotted cars, it's going to be the creme de la creme. It's going to be the absolute highlight of this season of episodes, and it's just been an utter disaster. It's a dud, apart from this one. Yeah, I am really disappointed.
Yes, it was rather disappointing, but don't worry, we'll get those cars sorted out eventually. Now, what have I been listening to this week? Not a lot, actually, because I was dicking around with those bloody slotted cars. Wasted a hell of a lot of my time. Very frustrating. But anyway, when I did throw on some music to calm my nerves, I put on the Norwegian hard rock metal band TNT, featuring guitar legend Ronnie Latecra. Now, this album, Intuition, is an absolute masterpiece, probably their greatest album ever. And the follow-up to that one, Realized Fantasy, another great album, a little bit more sort of run-of-the-mill kind of thing, but still a great album, great songs and that. And then this is a more of a later release, and My Religion, this is probably my second favourite, or maybe it's on a par with Intuition. Definitely a fantastic album. If you haven't checked out this band, these 3 albums are the ones to go for first. You don't know what you're missing out on, especially this. This is a masterpiece. And that's what I've been listening to this week. And now it's time for Wildman's Thought for the Day.
Hello, Slotheads. So, we come across a lot of disappointments in our day. So, I have a solution for you. Why not buy a slot car? Better yet, buy 2.
Thank you, Wildman, for that lovely thought for the day.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Wildman. I'll probably give the Slot.it a miss for the time being, though. I'm sure we'll sort them out eventually. Meanwhile, I think I'll take the chip and plonk it in this Michael Knight kit car from Scalextric. See how that goes. It's got a little wow red light in the front. That could be good fun. Well, that's all we've got this week, Slot Car Adventurers. We'll see you next week, hopefully in a bit of a better mood, on Hughes Garage Slot Car Adventures.
Until next time.